Every day in February, day 13, be topical. Hi, I'm Jeremy Nicholas. Today I want to talk to you about being topical in your public speaking. This is Jimmy Chu, who will be my co-presenter. Now, earlier in the series we talked about the importance of being local when you're giving your talk. Try and pick something local that to do with where you are, perhaps something in the local paper, something to do with the local environment, and your audience will really appreciate the fact that you've localised it for them. Today it's about topicalising it. Is that a word? I don't know. Making it topical, finding stuff that's in the news. So, I get most of my news from the BBC, the Voice of Truth. So I would get the BBC page up, like I have today, and let's see what's there that we could perhaps mention. And because I'm an after-dinner speaker primarily and a compere at business events, I'm usually looking for funny lines, but of course whatever sort of speaker you are, you may not be looking for funny stuff, you may be looking for serious stuff that you can just use at the start, just to lighten it up a little bit, just to give it a little bit of currency. That's a word, isn't it? Funnily enough, the Bank of England, they're to do with currency, and the top story on the BBC is that the bank warning inflation to stay high. There's a story about the Pope. There's a domestic court case. You wouldn't touch anything like that. SARS virus, you wouldn't do anything on that. The Kate Middleton bikini pictures story in the Italian magazine, we touched on that yesterday. That might be a good one to do it. And there's stuff still in the features about Richard III, whose body they found under a car park in Leicester, and there's now talk of making a tomb for him. And an amazing story here about a sea slug which has a disposable penis. The sea slug, I didn't know this, can regrow another penis and then lose it at will. So let's look at some of those. I wouldn't touch the disposable penis with a barge pole, certainly with any kind of corporate audience. The Richard III one, that's quite good. You can have a lot of fun with that. A horse, my kingdom for a horse, something like that. Particularly if you're doing something in Leicester, that would be a big story, because that's where he was found under the car park. As you well know, Jimmy, you're a paid up member of the Richard III Society, aren't you? Yes, we don't like those Tudors, do we? We love the old Plantagenets. So have a look in the website. I also get the Times online on my tablet, or on Kindle I get the Independent. So wherever I'm travelling, I'm pretty much guaranteed of having the news. And of course there is always this other option. For any young people watching, this is how we used to get our news. This is a newspaper. This one actually has been used for some painting. Stuart Lee, very funny man. He's one of my favourite comedians, Stuart Lee. Just type into YouTube Stuart Lee and Top Gear, and he rants against Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond. It's hilarious. So let's just look at some of the stories I might pick out for putting in my after dinner, because there'll be loads of jokes. And of course, you know, in the old days you'd have to think about jokes. Nowadays you just look on Twitter and people are just coming up with loads of ideas, putting them on Twitter, and you can just put them in your act. Obviously don't steal them from professional comedians, but if people are putting them on Twitter, my idea is I might as well have a look at them and see if I can make them into something amusing. So let's just have a little look here. Sorry, I'm turning my head, but just looking what I've written here. What have we got? So yeah, the Pope's resigned. So quite a few mentions about the Pope. He wouldn't be the first person to lose interest in his job once he's joined Twitter. I couldn't believe my eyes when I opened my paper this morning over breakfast and I saw Eggs Benedict. Because he's Pope Benedict, isn't he? Now his real name is Joseph Ratzinger, and I saw someone had done a joke about Ratzinger, I don't like Mondays. Now to get that joke you'd need to know that the Pope's original name was Joseph Ratzinger and that the Boomtown Rats had a song called I Don't Like Mondays, and that's the problem. Don't assume that your audience is going to have a knowledge of 80s, was it 70s, late 70s new wave music, and enough of a knowledge of papal previous names before they were called Pope Benedict. Papal, that's quite a good one because it sounds like PayPal. So there was a very good joke that I saw about the Pope is leaving and the Vatican bishops are having a whip round, and if you want to make a donation you can do that at PayPal. That's, I think, my favouriteest one. The cleverest one is probably the Ratzinger one, and the silliest one I heard was that the Pope was resigning because he wanted to spend more time with his family, which of course he doesn't have. Because he's a Catholic priest. Now if I was doing a sports event, and I do a lot of sports events, that's my bread and butter really, golf clubs, cricket clubs, rugby clubs, football, sporting dinners, I might do the one about the Pope says he's going to leave Vatican City, he's joining Vatican United on loan till the end of the season, and I probably would put on a sports voice like that. So those are the Pope ones. the other ones, you know, all the horse meat ones. I mean, there's all these jokes for those outside the UK. We've had a bit of drama in the UK about horse meat has been found in burgers, beef burgers by Tesco and Aldi and all sorts of other supermarkets. Findus beef lasagna, they've had horse DNA in them. And so I have, in the last few weeks, been starting my after dinner with, sorry, I'm a little hoarse tonight, I've just had a Tesco burger. And that goes down all right. And then you can chuck in a few others about, did you hear about the man who was rushed to hospital after eating a horse burger? His condition is said to be stable. And then I don't get my burgers from Tesco, I get them from Lidl. They have a special range, My Little Pony. And all stuff like that. Why the long face? But there we are. So that's it for day 13 of Every Day in February. Tomorrow will be Valentine's Day and we'll be halfway through this mad project. I don't know why I committed to doing it. It's taking up far too much time. But there we are. Hopefully you are improving your public speaking and Jim is becoming an internet sensation. He didn't want to be on the show today, did you? Didn't want to be on the show today. I had to chase him round the house to try and get him to come here. I think he thought it was a game, but he was running and I was saying, come on Jimmy, it's time to be on the telly. And eventually he did settle down and we got him here. So that's it. See you at the same time tomorrow. Well, I say the same time, you know, whenever you watch it. It's on YouTube. It's not a TV show, is it? Bye-bye. Say goodbye, Jimmy. Goodbye, Jimmy. I think my ventriloquism's coming on, don't you? Do you think it's coming on?